We can put F1 up on the screen here. A team of independent experts that was commissioned by the United Nations Human Rights Council has concluded that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. That's the new report issued this week. So at the United Nations, one of the people involved with this report was pressed by the media about the Israeli reaction to it, and found this kind of instructive as to where we are in this conversation now. Let's roll this.
These reports should be taken seriously, but honestly, the Israeli responses are becoming so boring. You know, they say the same thing every time. They're producing the responses by ChatGPT these days, and they spend so much money in the foreign ministry on propaganda, you'd think that they would actually come up with something original. I would want them to engage with the evidence, but they never engage with the evidence. They put the report into ChatGPT, and then they put out the standard response. So no one takes it seriously, and Jamie, you shouldn't either.
And so this is happening as the genocide is only ramping up to genuinely unseen levels in Gaza City. We can roll some of the footage that we've gotten from our correspondent, Abdelkader Saba in Gaza City. What Israel has clearly been doing over the last week plus is targeting some of the most iconic and recognizable buildings in Gaza City, these high rises, and just taking them down. What Abdelkader has been describing, and others who are reporting for us out of Gaza City, that they're getting just moments. And you notice there that how close they are to the beach. Like there's basically nowhere left to go. Mm-hmm. They're getting minutes warning that this huge building, they're all housing hundreds of families, is about to get taken down. And Abdelkader said he's seen images of people and seen with his own eyes, people getting these messages and then just immediately just throwing everything they have out the window, like taking mattresses, because now they know, displacement is absolutely here, and we're going to need somewhere to sleep. So they're taking the mattresses and throwing them out the window, taking blankets and anything else that they can get their hands on and get to a window and throw it out, and still give themselves enough time to get out of the building before the terrorists strike it and take it down, and offering just the most ridiculous explanations. Sometimes they'll say that, well, there was a camera on top of the building. Like, really? They have operational control over huge portions of Gaza City. Yeah, you saw a camera on top of the building. You can actually just go shoot the camera if you want, if that's real, a Hamas camera. You had to take out these buildings, many being taken out with people inside them. What's going on is they're trying to make Gaza City, the largest city in Palestine, uninhabitable, and force a question, because they have no end game here, because the end.
Oh no, it's eradicating Hamas, right, and they're on the cusp of it.
Just right around the corner. Any minute now, they're going to eradicate Hamas.
Even though Antony Blinken told us, as Biden was leaving office earlier this year, that Hamas had already reconstituted, like 80% of what it had been.
Mm-hmm. Right, and their weapons, as we've said before, come from unexploded Israeli munitions. Israel has dropped so many bombs, and a significant percentage, whether it's 1 or 10, it's going to be more than a resistance organization could ever need. So they use the unexploded ordnance, and when the IDF actually does send in ground troops, which is rare, mostly they're doing this through the air, then these fighters run up to the tanks and just throw the munitions into the tank and cause significant casualties. Most of it is done from the air, though, because in the long run, if they can make it uninhabitable, they feel like, okay, then they have to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Now, one place they could go would just be eastward. There's a giant Negev desert that, if this was really about eradicating Hamas, the Palestinian population in Gaza could move eastward into Israeli territory. They can then fight against Hamas and then rebuild Gaza, and then people move back into Gaza. But the plan is not for them to move back into Gaza. The problem is, and talking to people who are involved in evacuations, it is difficult to find host countries to take 1 or 2 people. It's almost impossible to find that a country, even Ireland, they'll take dozens. They're not taking hundreds. Israel is trying to expel upwards of 2 million. They don't have anywhere to send them. Now, we keep getting reports of negotiations going on between Libya or Somaliland or South Sudan. And so maybe eventually they will pressure some country, some beleaguered country with, we'll recognize you, Somaliland, if you agree to take 2 million Palestinians. But then physically, like if all Israel can do against Hamas is bomb them, physically, how do you force that to happen? Well, what they're trying to do is push everybody down to the south, and then they think from there they'll be able to push them out. But how? Like it's so, but it's not well thought out. It's just day to day. Internet Dropsite Daily, which is our new newsletter, which people should get if they're not. Reporting this morning that internet's now cut off in northern Gaza, so we have no idea what's going on up there in the last several hours, unless people can get have an Israeli SIM card. That's the only base, and then they get cell service like that. That's the only way people can communicate out of northern Gaza at this point. And so in the midst of this, we have another report from a Dropsite actually that we can put up. The Genoa dock workers have entered the fray and have said that on September 22nd they will shut the port of Genoa down if there is any interference with the flotilla that is now headed towards Gaza's humanitarian flotilla, more than 40 ships with humanitarian aid that are trying to get into Gaza. The Genoa dock workers are saying it doesn't make sense that we can send 17,000 tons of military equipment to help Israel carry out its genocide, but we can't send 50 tons of humanitarian aid in. If they carry out a shutdown, it would be very difficult. It would be against the law in Italy to do it. But if they did shut down the port of Genoa, that seizes up commercial traffic in Europe to a significant degree, because it's I think the most significant. Marseille is a very significant port too, but I think Genoa might be even more significant to commercial traffic, in and out of Europe. But there is, you've got the UN at the top saying this is genocide. You've got the dock workers on the ground saying that we're not going to abide by this. But everywhere else, the governments are abiding by it.
What do you think happens next? I mean, what's your prediction with this?
There seems to be no willingness to stop this, and Israel seems hell-bent on carrying it out. There was some hope recently that because Hamas kept saying yes to every ceasefire deal, that this would end. And Trump had put out this little 100-word ceasefire offer that was very basic. Hamas responded very favorable, and then they met to formulate their final response to it. And then Israel bombed them while they were meeting to discuss this ceasefire offer. And so now that's where we are.
What do you think happens with the dock workers?
I think they'll try. And I don't know if the flotilla will be in Gaza by the 22nd. We'll see.
Okay.
So, I mean, they seem resolute, and there was a vote of those two unions. You can see the whole video over at Dropsite. So we'll see, but the power of the state is serious, and states have broken plenty of strikes before.
Yes, that is for sure. Super interesting story. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, thank you. So we'll be back on Friday. Crystal and Sagar.
That's right.
We'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
right?
Will be Friday. And if you want the second half of the Friday show, including any cable news producers that might be listening,
that's
if you want to pull clips.
Apparently, you don't want to miss the Friday show. That's where the big stuff happens.
Yes.
BreakingPoints.com. Become a premium subscriber there.
I will say we're definitely more casual on the Friday show. We have a lot more sort of relaxed conversations, which
get yourselves in trouble.
Apparently, even though nobody did anything that is worth getting anybody in trouble for the 1 millionth time,
but the nice thing about people subscribing is that you can't get in trouble. There is nobody that can make a phone call.
That's right.
And be like, I don't like what Emily or Ryan or Crystal or Soccer said, so you need to get rid of them.
Or Griffin, of course.
Yeah. Well, Griffin, just get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
just roll it solo.
But no, I mean, breakingpoints.com, that's where you get access to the second half of that show, where we say even crazier things.
Yes.
But no, I think Ryan, over the last week, Crystal mentioned this too. I'm sure we're all taking a lot of heat. Anybody who's talking publicly right now is taking a lot of heat, even if, we covered Ezra Klein earlier in the show. Even if you're saying something anodyne as like political violence is not a good answer. So I just think it's important. My final thought for today's show is that it's just important to sit across from somebody who disagrees with you on the most personal, intimate, meaningful, as deep and meaningful as like religion, with all four of us. And we sit across from each other. And even when I think, and even when you guys think, even when I think you guys, and even when you guys think I am saying stuff that is deeply wrong and dangerous, we still sit across from each other and have those conversations. And we do it because I think fundamentally you guys are good people. And I think we all think that of each other. And good people are capable of being wrong. Good people are capable of supporting dangerous ideas. And I'm not saying that's true of you guys, but I'm just saying I think that's fundamentally what we do. And the basis of that is I know that you are sitting across from me as a decent human being that wants the best for your family and for people in general and for humanity.
Yeah, and even if you think people are totally wrong about something, you also have to remember that people are never fixed in time.
That's right.
People are always on a journey. Now, Charlie Kirk's journey, whatever it was going to lead to, was cut short.
That's right. Yeah.
By that bullet, but those journeys, should be allowed to continue.
And they don't happen if you don't talk.
Right. And I do genuinely think that this country would be a better place if more people would just watch this show and do politics this way. People might think that's self-interested to say that. It's actually against self-interest because it used to be when the YouTube podcast rankings would come out and we're like pretty high up, top 30, top 20, whatever. I'd be like, wow, that's great. Mm-hmm. Now I see those ranks and I'm like, maybe we want to push down. Let's get back down around the 500 or so. I don't know if like 25 or 30 is where we want to be anymore. So it's actually against self-interest to say that more people should watch this show. But at the same time, I think it's true. Like I genuinely think it's better than just being fed this and living in this epistemic bubble that, and like a lot of liberals, I think still think a Groyper did this.
Yeah, that's right. They did a poll, actually. There's a poll that...
And they'll always think it.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you really want to not know what's going on in the world? Right. Even if it makes you feel better for a moment?
Yeah, things aren't fixed in time. We do get more answers.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And it's not always... people assume that it's just sort of like... I don't know. I mean, it's not always easy. I think we've sorted ourselves out of these bubbles a lot. But it's not always easy to sit across from people you disagree with and, not pop off and shout and yell because we all have, strong fixed beliefs. But when you think the other person is decent, then you can. And that is just like such a gift from the show. I mean, it is an incredible gift. I'm really grateful to you guys. So
enjoy it.
And grateful to everybody who supports the show because you make it possible. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We will see you on Friday. Crystal and Sagar will be back here tomorrow.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show, ad-free, and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.